SMU had a good season last year, went 11-3 under head coach Rhett Lashley. However, they do lose a good bit. They lose Brashard Smith out of the backfield as well as their top two receivers in terms of receiving yards. So tough there. But they do return their quarterback, Kevin Jennings, who had a great season last year. 3,200 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. You'd like to see that number drop a little bit. And then 345 rushing yards, so he can do it with his legs a little bit too. Where would you rank him roughly in the ACC in terms of quarterbacks?
Oh, in terms of quarterbacks, I think he would struggle to be in my top 3, but
Okay.
I think he would comfortably be in my top 5. Cade's up there. Carson Beck is up there. And for me, personally, I've got Darian Minsa at number 3.
Okay.
But I think he's right there at 4 with Haynes King and Miller Moss fighting for that 5th spot. He's good. 3,200 yards is super productive for a quarterback in college football, and he did that last year. Losing the weapons, like you said, is going to hurt them a ton. I'm hoping for them that, like, kind of the fallout of the year doesn't hurt this program and their success, because it was a surprisingly successful year. And then you lose kind of a devastating way to Clemson, and then you go into the Penn State game, and if that was played on a neutral site, maybe that's more competitive.
Yeah.
But to play that in sub-zero weather and suboptimal conditions, and to have to play the defense that was Penn State at their house, I just never thought they were ever going to be competitive in that game. And so I'm hoping their fallout isn't anything too massive from that, because it's a program, like, for this program to be good, it helps the rest of the ACC.
100%.
For a non-marquee program to make a splash and to make the playoff, it helps the ACC. Think of the Big Ten, it's no different. Indiana making the playoff last year helps the Big Ten, because now you tune into Indiana games, and because of that, people are going to tune into Illinois games this year, because they're right there on that fence of, oh, they could be kind of up there in the Big Ten.
This year's Indiana.
Yeah, and so SMU it's huge for this ACC and the future of the ACC for them to be good. And so for me, I hope they continue to be good, because I enjoy Clemson being in the ACC and kind of having a nice path to the playoff. And you can kind of harp on that all you want, but we've beaten Alabama twice in a national championship, so go to hell. I apologize. That was a little rough. But I will say, SMU being good is good for the conference, and I hope they continue to be good this year. And I think they are going to be good, honestly. I think their win total isn't there, or at least we haven't revealed it yet, but I think they'll go over their win total.
Okay.
They've got some tough games there on the schedule. Like, nothing's guaranteed here, but I think they're going to be good this year with Kevin Jennings returning. Quarterback play is it's a large part of college football.
Huge. It's been like my first point on almost all these previews for a reason.
Exactly. So I think Kevin Jennings returning and Rhett Lashley also still being the head coach at SMU is key as well. He is another one of those names that could jump ship, especially off a playoff season like that. So him returning as well will help the Mustangs this year.
We lost camera real quick, so Sanders is going to go to fix that.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, we talked about how they're losing a lot of weapons. Guys look to replace them. Jordan Hudson at wide receiver is the leading returning wide receiver in terms of pass or receiving yards. He had 4. Sorry, Sanders just tried to stand up with his headset still on and kind of got jerked back. But no, he had 422 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns last year. And then another guy to look at is, I can't see, I think it's R.J. Maryland at tight end. Started off last season pretty well and then got hurt and missed a big chunk of time. But they're high on him. I think he'll be very productive. They expect him to be very productive now that he's healthy. And I'll go ahead while Sanders fixing the camera. Unless you want me to wait, Sanders, and kind of slow it down. Okay. I think their secondary especially, but their defense as a whole is going to be a ton of fun to watch. Isaac Nwakobia, I apologize if I said that name wrong, is kind of your standard strong safety. Had 100 total tackles and 3 picks last year with a 91.8. Phone's dead? Tough. Okay, we're going to take a big pause then.
No, we can roll without camera.
Keep rolling SMU, and then we can take a pause in between. Okay. Yeah, Isaiah Nwakobia, 100 total tackles, 3 picks last year. Has had a 91.8 PFF grade the past couple years. He's very good. Ahmad Moore is their second safety, is also very, very good. Deuce Harmon is a cornerback for them, had 20 solo tackles and a pick last year. Shouted him out. He's a former Aggie. Gig 'em, Deuce Harmon. And then Cameron Robinson and Isaiah Smith are their defensive ends, who combined for 10.5 combined sacks last year. So I expect their defense to be good again, probably even a little better than last year with these guys potentially improving. And I think it could help stave off a fall back to the norm because maybe their offense isn't quite as productive as it was last year. Going into their win total's at 8.5. JP, you've already said you're going to go over for your reasoning. I am going to go.
It's a good line.
It's a good line. I'm going to trust on them to have a good defense, and I'll take 9 wins. So I'm going to take the over there. Sanders, over under 8.5 wins.
I will under. I had a thought. Oh yeah, my thought is I would love for them to go over that and make the ACC. All right, dream scenario: we see ACC championship then versus North Carolina, because then Tucker pointed out we get to see Jordan Hudson as a wide receiver against Bill Belichick. I think that would be so funny. I really wish they put each other in the preseason because I'm sure the jokes and the memes that would come from that would be so funny.
Yeah, that's very fair. It's not the easiest schedule, to be honest, for them. They have to play Clemson, Miami, and Louisville.
And they scheduled 2 tough out-of-conference games with Baylor and TCU.
So that worries me a little bit for the over, but I'm going to trust what they're building there and just continue the momentum and take the over.